Go ahead, make my day.
Hello everyone, Fromark here once again with the Fromark Plays Show, and welcome back to the Bubsy playthrough. We've still got quite a bit to do here in the Terrain Above Desert section. Still a couple of levels to take care of, still plenty of the same old in this game. The same old in the game old. But anyways, just gotta keep moving around, collect those t-shirts. They got ones on them. I need those extra lives. Yeah. Bonk these woolly enemies. Look out for those eggs. They shoot eggs at you. You gotta look out for that sometimes. I know I don't want my eggs to be over easy. Ha! But you gotta look out here, folks. You gotta look out for all these eggs, and you gotta look out for all these damn birds, and just, I don't know. It's just, it's Bubsy madness. That's the best way to describe it here. It's just, it's a non-stop Bubsy action here with the Bubsy into the canyon. You know what? I don't even care at this point anymore. I'm just gonna let the microphone keep rolling and just gonna go with it. Whatever becomes of this playthrough is the playthrough. Hopefully it doesn't come out to completely train wreckus. Train wreckus. Bonk. Gotta look out for those sharks. Why are there sharks in the desert, by the way? And of course you got those tumbleweeds. I thought about that checkpoint for a second. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna wait. Hey, t-shirt. Of course, I could use plenty of extra t-shirts. I do wish I had some more. There's a really cool Sonic t-shirt that I just recently got. I need to buy a better version of it that doesn't have a bunch of holes in it, but it's gonna be hard to find since, I mean, they don't make the shirt anymore, but eBay, I'm sure. I can always find what I'm looking for on eBay. Well, almost always. And no, this is not an advertising plug. I'm not sponsored by eBay. Though that'd be kind of cool. I feel like I'd be a good shill. Or whatever. I mean, anyways, got this level taken care of. Get this Bubsy madness going here. And it's gonna take care of this stage. Yeah, I guess for a playthrough that I'm just recording kind of off the rails here with I don't know what to really expect, but I'm just gonna keep it rolling. I don't care. I do not care. I don't want to keep recording take after take after take. I just want to get this game done with. I will admit though, it's not a terrible time now that I can look back and just commentate over all this. But I will admit it is hard to somewhat it is kind of hard to be like, "Oh, there's just so many exciting things to say about Bubsy." But there's just not. Although there was a test pilot done around the time the game was released, sponsored by Taco Bell. I guess they paid to do like a Saturday morning cartoon pilot, and it never picked up. I like how Bubsy's catchphrase is supposed to be, "What could possibly go wrong?" Which, I mean, everything if you play a Bubsy game. But I like how the test pilot was called "What Could Possibly Go Wrong." Obviously, there's just too much Bubsy madness going on. Maybe it wasn't Bubsy enough for the networks to be like, "Yo, Saturday morning Bubsy, this is what we need." But anyways, kind of continuing to, I mean, this playthrough may be kind of off the rails, but this train here going into the desert, that is not because I'm now into the canyon, The canyon! Into the canyon! Let's just see what's going on here. We got roosters, we got birds, we got cactuses, got tumbleweeds. Gotta look out for them tumbleweeds. And of course, you gotta remember, folks, anything you touch can kill you, and because you don't get health in this game. But you do get a ton of extra lives, which is kind of neat. I don't know, this game feels like it's kind of rewarding in all the wrong places, really. Like, I don't know, it's just... I do think that it's a decent enough game. I would say it's probably like I would give it a solid 4.5 out of 10, to be honest with you. There's just nothing really special about it that sets it apart from any other platforming mascot game of the mid and late 90s. I mean, obviously Sonic and Mario were taking the world by storm, and everybody wanted to cash in on that. Now, some companies did some pretty good platforming games that were kind of in a similar vein, and there were tons of really good mascot platformers in the 90s that never really caught on, like Cool Spot or let's see, well, there's plenty of other ones too, but that's the first one that immediately came to mind. And my mind is just an ever-flowing enigma right now. Though something, my mind is an enigma. It's just a milk carton. Anyways, here we got another boss, folks, and this is where the intensity really starts to ramp up. You got this UFO that'll keep dropping birds, and they'll continue to drop a ton of birds, and it'll just continue to zoom around and get worse and worse. And yeah, well, I went ahead and just let that one slip. I'll just go ahead and keep on rolling. I didn't have too far to start over, so I was just like, you know what? I'll just leave it in. Just leave the recording. Just roll the tape. Just keep it going. Ooh, that's gonna take care of it. But I still gotta defeat these enemies before the boss is done. And yeah, that'll do it now. Okay, that'll take care of this desert section, this train above desert section. Time to get the heck out of here, if I do say so myself. And now on to the Oregon Trail. Although it's just referred to as Oregon. I like the music here, kind of, but it gets ear-grating and annoying pretty quickly with that synthesized banjo loop. Sounds a little bit better on the Genesis version. Now, the Genesis and Super Nintendo versions aren't really too terribly different from each other, to my understanding. There's a few little graphical differences here and there, and it's more so notably in the sound where it's different. Because the Sega Genesis just had that distinctive Genesis sound. Super Nintendo definitely didn't have that. See, but Sega is what Nintendo isn't. Okay, anyway, Bubsy is what gaming isn't, and we gotta look out for this eel. You got this eel here. He's just kind of floating around. Looks like some kind of lost sperm just scooting around in the lake. It's like, yo, look out. Okay. Keep maneuvering. Now, most of this Oregon world, most of it can be auto-scrolled on this set of logs going down the river, which is probably the best way to go through each level in my personal opinion. But it's not always the easiest to get through, because there's plenty of obstacles here and there that just... It's certainly a time. This is actually one of the more visually pleasing levels in the game. I really don't like what that last one was with the desert. That was just a really bad time. This one actually is a little bit easier on the eyes. It's a little more fun. It's more funner. It's funnerer. It's more funnerer. And you gotta look out for them sperm floating around in the water over there again. Or them eels. Got more eggs. Got more eels. Hey, another checkpoint. But I'm just gonna avoid it, I guess. Because if I'm not mistaken, the end of the stage is pretty close by. Ooh, that was close. I had to maneuver. And yeah, the end of the stage is right there, actually. So that's cool. I like how the end theme is a little bit different for this world. You can kind of hear it's slightly different anyway. Or maybe that's just me. Bubsy with all of his quips. Yeah, don't really care much for this level. I mean, I don't know. I do like being able to just kind of float down the river on this one. Sometimes in life, that's all I want to do is just float down the river. Just don't bother me. I just want to float. But anyways, I'm not sure what that was all about. I'm just kind of zooming around here. Bubsy's got the zoomies. Bubsy zoomies. What's the Bubsy doing? What's that bobcat doing? He got the zoomies. He just floating on the log going down the river. He just floating, living his best Bubsy life. Of course, there's a lot of these enemies that make it kind of difficult for Bubsy to live his best life. Like these fish here. If you get hit by them fish, you gotta start from the beginning of the level again. And actually, I would say, well, no. It feels like I'm getting pretty close to the end of this stage. But I don't know, every stage just kind of blends together. They all feel the same. So I'm never really exactly quite sure where one begins and where one ends. But hey, there's another bonus stage. And I got some continues. It's not like I'm not trying in these bonus stages. Though sometimes it doesn't look like it. It's just mostly because I get flung around and I'm just like, you know what, screw it. But to keep things rolling along here, like that cheese wheel of rolling. The rolling cheese wheel. And you gotta ride these flying platforms up through the air. Look out for them chickens. And you got these beavers, which, speaking of beavers, there was actually an interesting saga a couple of weeks ago with my family where there was a beaver in our yard, and this thing was freaking huge, man. I wish I took a picture of it because it was the biggest damn beaver I've ever seen in my entire life. It's more beaver than I'm getting now! Ha! Zing! Oh man, this playthrough has just been off the rails. This has certainly been a Bubsy playthrough experience, and while it's certainly not a great game, I'm committed to it. I'm committed to this playthrough, and I'm glad that some of y'all out there are too. I'm glad you're all still watching this. Commit with me! We're almost through this playthrough, folks. We still got another, part after this. But if you just hang in there a little bit longer, we're almost done with this Bubsy experience. Which actually looks like this part's just about over. Now there are some neat things about this level where you can flip switches and drain the water and You gotta look out for them bees. Bees, they buzzing. They buzzing around. You gotta look out for them. Because when you're a bobcat, apparently you can get killed by eggs if you're a bobcat. But anyways, that's gonna do it for part 2, folks. And I will see you in the grand finale of this, whatever this Bubsy playthrough extravaganza experience is. See you then.